The one-of-its-kind Porsche Taycan is a dream of many. The Taycan is an extraordinarily attractive electric vehicle that incorporates everything you love about driving Porsches. It prioritizes driving enjoyment above all else, contrary to how sports car driving qualities are normally prioritized for electric vehicles. But what goes inside the factory of this supercar? How do the manufacturers strive to make it a supercar? If you are a car lover and would like to know about the inside story, like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to stay updated. So what's the hype about? Porsche created a four-door vehicle with human engagement in mind rather than autonomous, soulless transportation, using battery power as an opportunity rather than an excuse. The name Taycan means soul of a spirited young horse, and the company wants to take this car to the top of EVs. The Tesla Model S and Lucid Air easily outperform the Taycan's maximum EPA estimated range of 246 miles, but it still handles and accelerates like a Porsche should, with imperious confidence and authority. Every Taycan employs a two-speed transmission that mixes spectacular acceleration with highway cruising range that exceeds expectations, from the base model's 402 horsepower single-rear powertrain to the ridiculously rapid 750 horsepower Turbo S. The Taycan can charge at a pace of up to 270 kilowatt-hours on a strong enough DC fast charger because of its 800-volt construction. The driving stance is low to the ground, and the 16.8-inch curved display provides the characteristic Stuttgart driving experience. The majority of Taycan vehicles have two electric motors, one driving the front wheels and the other the back. They generate distinct outputs that differ based on trim level. With the lesser battery, the 4S produces 522 horsepower, and with the larger battery, 562 horsepower. The top models, the 670 horsepower Turbo and the 750 horsepower Turbo S, include the large juicer as standard equipment. Depending on the battery capacity, the base model's horsepower ranges from 402 to 469, although it only has rear-wheel drive. The Taycan GTS with its 626 pound-feet of torque and 590 horsepower is the sweet spot. The unique two-speed transmission used in all Taycan models offers a thrilling shift under heavy acceleration. The Taycan stands out among electric vehicles thanks to its fierce acceleration, low-slung driving position, and precise steering. Furthermore, it is comfortable. It never feels stiff or harsh while driving, not even on 21-inch wheels with low-profile tires. Porsche invested more than $1 billion in the development of its first electric sports car, with almost $800 million of that going toward a brand new factory. At Porsche's main factory in Zuffenhausen, Germany, the Taycan factory was crammed into and between a number of already existing structures. It was more expensive to simply expand the more recent production facility in Leipzig, in the country's east, where the Macan and Panamera are made. As clearing the site alone cost more than $50 million. Porsche began producing the Taycan in 2019, and to make sure that its facilities were prepared, work started in the Porsche Zuffenhausen facility, which housed the production line for the electric sedan. The prestigious automaker established the Taycan's assembly lines in Zuffenhausen, a location with a long, illustrious history. The same location is used for the production of several vehicles, including the legendary Porsche 911, the 718 Boxster, and the 718 Cayman. Porsche stated in a press release that the ramp for the Taycan resulted in the creation of 1,500 jobs and an investment of €700 million to upgrade and prepare the company's facilities. Porsche's projects in Zuffenhausen have a number of noteworthy features, most notably a conveyor system that moves drive system parts and painted e-car bodies from the paint shop to the assembly line. The conveyor system is impressive. It divides the site in half and is 20 meters above a 4-lane main road in Stuttgart. The Taycan's biggest building complex in Zuffenhausen will be the Assembly and Logistics Hall. Given that the facility was built while the production of the 911, Boxster, and Cayman continued at its usual output, the company described the building process as a balancing act. The factory has a paint shop with an independent steel structure. The Taycan body shop is the second largest structure at the Zuffenhausen complex. On the structure, pre-production bodies for the 911 and later, the Taycan, will be created. Porsche wants to make its Zuffenhausen as environmentally friendly as it can, much like its rival Tesla. The Porsche Taycan factory, which was built in less than 48 months, has an area for assembling e-motors, transmissions, and axles, as well as a line specifically for assembling bodies, a new paint shop, and a 2,900-foot-long conveyor for moving bodies, e-motor battery packs, and axles to the final assembly hall. The cutting-edge factory makes extensive use of automated guided vehicles that Porsche developed internally. Sensors and wireless communication are used by small AGVs in the powertrain and axle assembly areas to move between stations. In the body and final assembly areas, larger AGVs are used in place of conventional conveyor belts, relying instead on optical sensors to follow QR codes on lines taped to the floor. The layout of the Taycan factory's massive final assembly plant, which has enough space to accommodate the entire Porsche Museum building 3 times over, is very flexible thanks to the QR code system. By simply laying a new line of tape, assembly lines can be changed or moved. Additionally, because there was no need to support large conveyors, the building's floors don't need to be as well engineered and costly to construct as they would have been in a typical factory. Taycan will debut as a 2-motor vehicle with e-motors tuned into 2 different levels. Rotor, stator, and other essential e-motor components are sourced from outside vendors. Porsche, however, created the transmission and casings on its own. According to Porsche, the e-motors will be produced in 2 power variants, necessitating a high-precision assembly procedure. The shims that guarantee there is just 0.3 mm of clearance between the rotor stator and the housing, however, are chosen by hand by Porsche employees, even though the e-motor assembly is largely automated. Porsche wants its employees to be actively involved in the creation of Taycan engines. The Taycan factory is being speeded up gradually. In the middle of 2018, the first e-motor, transmission, and axle assemblies were constructed, followed a few months later by the first bodies. In December 2018, right before Christmas, the first finished Taycan rolled off the line in the unfinished final assembly hall. Porsche's 6th model line, the Taycan, will join the 911, 718, Macan, Cayenne, and Panamera. Porsche claims that the factory can produce 20,000 Taycans annually, which would represent a commendable 7.5% increase in the company's overall production over 2018. However, that is a conservative estimate. The factory's innovative and flexible layout means output could easily be doubled to 40,000 Taycans a year once production processes have been established, and Porsche is confident cars can be produced in higher numbers without compromising quality. Porsche had received 30,000 orders for the Taycan before any customer even took one for a test drive. Taycan is a big deal for Porsche, but then so are going to be the payoffs. Together with Tessa SE, Porsche AG has created a new production method at its Zuffenhausen headquarters. The holes in the car body that must be left for corrosion prevention in order to access all of the body cavities in the paint shop can now be sealed much more effectively using this process. Instead of using plastic plugs, the creative solution was to use sealing patches. The first vehicle in the world to employ this new technique is the all-electric Porsche Taycan. More than 100 sealing patches are automatically, quickly, and consistently applied by a robot, sealing the body's holes and increasing production efficiency for Porsche. By the time the sealing patches were implemented by Porsche Innovation Management in July 2020, more than 2/3 of the roughly 150 plugs in the Taycan paint shop had been removed. Once the unique Tessa sealing patches have been applied, only very hard work can be used to remove them again. They offer a strong solution that will last longer than the lifetime of the vehicle and can withstand the stresses brought on by the motion of the vehicle. The adoption of the Tessa patches has eliminated a laborious process step where up to 3,600 plugs per shift had to be forced into the holes, which relieves significant stress on the workforce. Since one patch size can be used to cover all 4 hole types, the new patches also provide logistical benefits and lessen the complexity. The plugs protrude up to 6 mm from the body, whereas the patches only have a 1 mm thickness and barely protrude at all. A robot positions the patch-specialized chest consistently. The future viability of Porsche is a key criterion for good ideas. Porsche Innovation Management was founded in 2016 with this goal in mind. The Agile project team actively seeks out new developments, funds them, and tests them internally early on. This is much more than just transferring knowledge from racing to series production. Driving innovation is a core principle of Porsche's Strategy 2030, and it is viewed as a cross-cutting issue that affects all departments and subsidiaries in Germany and abroad. Aside from production and development issues, innovation management addresses major cutting-edge issues such as the transition to electric mobility, sustainable mobility solutions, and the impact of digitalization on businesses, customers, and products. The top technology that makes Porsche the most wanted car brand is the product of geniuses that work at the Germany's $25 million supercar factory. Everybody wants to own a Porsche, but what in this model appeals to you the most? Do share in the comments.